One, two, three. Together. Where do you look? Upper diagonal, diagonal. Upper diagonal. Maria.
Maggie. Hola.
Hi.
Ninin.
Andy.
Shirley. Nikki.
Maureen.
Hiroko.
I'm the captain.
Clara. I was born in the Philippines. I'm half Filipino and half American, but I grew up in Boston. And that's where I found flamenco while I was a ballet student at the Boston Conservatory of Music. And then met my first flamenco teacher and became my future husband and father of my two sons, Isaac de los Reyes, Nino de los Reyes. And from Boston, I moved to Spain in 1991, and I formed my own school, my own company in Madrid for about more than 15 years. And then I decided to go back and follow my roots, and went to the Philippines and started a school there and a company there as well. So I was in the Philippines for 6 years, and then lately, the last 5 years in Hong Kong. Almost 6 years in Hong Kong. And this is where I met all these lovely ladies. I like to think of flamenco as an international language. It really is. The language is passion. And then, of course, you need to know a little bit of the culture, and if not that, at least the technique of the dancing. So I believe that anybody can do this as long as you believe in what you're doing and you work very, very, very hard. So it doesn't matter where you're from. As you can see, we're all from different corners of the world. We're here, and yet we all have this love for flamenco. Mm-hmm. And this is not just them. I have many, many people.
I wanted to dance because I like the music. I have no idea why, but flamenco is really touched my heart with the listen to the music. And the most difficult part for me is contratempo. Yes, to put in the compass, and for me, that's the most difficult part.
In between beats, counter time.
And I will say I have the same difficulty as Ninin, which is the contratempo, but also I do tend to fall out of compass every now and then, so I've got to strengthen up on the compass. But all in all, you're dealing with so many aspects in flamenco. You've got to have a different feeling inside of you, and it's a different movement, and you're combining your head, your hips, your feet, your footwork, your shoulders, your arms. You're trying to combine so many aspects, and that's the hardest part, is putting this all together to make it look perfect and good.
This is our fourth bacchanal. I brought every year different artists and different themes. First year I brought four male dancers, because as you can see, we're all women, so we need to bring in the male dancers. And we bring them in next year. The next year I think I brought men and some the musicians as well. I started bringing in the musicians because that's what we're really lacking here in Hong Kong, is the flamenco guitar, the flamenco singing especially. Because if we don't have those elements here, I don't know how much deeper we can really get into flamenco. I'm trying my hardest to bring the culture and that feeling and passion of flamenco without the live musicians and the live singers. But so the Bacchanal has given me that opportunity. I get to bring in artists from Spain, and I bring in very good. Sabu Porrina, the Porrina family for the cajon. Antonio Sanchez, my guitarist, he's the nephew and protege of Paco de Lucia. But this year is my big deal. I'm bringing one of my idols from more than 30 years ago, JORGE Pardo. And JORGE Pardo will be playing saxophone and flute to flamenco. You know, teaching in the beginning is easy because everybody comes and everything is simple, and everybody, whatever small thing you do is already wonderful for them, and they feel good. And there's something about the Latin and the Spanish music and culture that they like. But the more they learn, the harder it gets. But the most difficult part is that your students have the discipline. And I think in Hong Kong that is definitely a problem, because everybody works, everybody goes home to their families. So it's very hard It's always fun at the beginning, and we have a great time, and we learn many things. But then they also do want to perform. So performing is another world altogether. And I always say, when you perform, you owe the audience something, which means you cannot just go out there and have a good time yourself. You have to be as well entertaining to the audience as well as having fun at the same time. And that requires technique, dedication, and a lot of discipline. The next thing that I cannot acquire is that true, authentic feeling of flamenco, because I don't have the guitarist and the singer here. So lately, the last few years, I've been lucky. I've been bringing in guest stars for the big shows, but that doesn't mean that we get to work with them. So it's still very hard to get that real knowledge of flamenco. When I was in Boston, we already started doing a lot of fusion, and we're talking a long time ago already. And my ex-husband, who's Ramon de los Reyes, he always enjoyed and wanted to do more fusion. So that's where I came in, because that's where all my background is. So we started doing a lot of fusion work already there. We did it with Indian dancing, Bharatanatyam. We did it with Jorge Arce from Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. Many combinations with art of black dance, African dance, and flamenco. Some things you can't really mix, but I like to take the flamenco style and then create new movements that still maintains a little bit flamenco style, and then bring in classical. Contemporary is probably the easiest one to fuse, and jazz. Most of the time I try to embellish on the music that I hear, and I feel the strain, and somehow that goes into me, and I come up with a new movement that's neither flamenco nor classical, but yet it's both. Okay, the question is probably why flamenco bacchanal? That's really because of all the students I have. Apart from very few opportunities during the year where I give them a chance, or you do sevillanas at the Spanish Feria, or something in some occasion, and they say, Clara, just bring your students and do something for fun. Okay, I do all of that. But I do want to do something serious, because I still am a performer. I still need to perform at my best and my top level. And so how do I do that? Then I bring in bacchanal. And this is, before that I had different productions, but the flamenco bacchanal has become a hit for the last 4 years now, so I keep bringing in. And it's a chance for me to bring in the superstars from Spain, and give them a chance, give my students a chance to work and with these special artists. So that is part of their learning process. This year, really special, my idol for over 30 years, JORGE Pardo. But then I have Sabu Paulina, who will come on that stage and break that cajon in pieces, because she's just the most powerful cajon player I've ever seen. The guitarist, like I said before, that Antonio Sanchez is the nephew of Paco de Lucia. And this year I have Antonio Fernandez coming for the first time. But every year I bring different dancers. Paul Vaquero, Pedro Cordova, Kellyan Jimenez, and then of course my 2 sons. I have a little bit of a bias for my sons. Besides the fact that they're very, very, very good, and all the girls love them when they come here. That's very, very special, because, you know, hey, let's face it, these students, when will they ever perform in Spain? First question. 2, anywhere near the caliber of the artists that I bring. They would never have a chance to work with any of these artists, on stage that is. Not in Spain nor here. So I warn them all the time, guys, if you go out of compás, Jorge Pardo is gonna walk off that stage. So I drill, and sometimes I can be very harsh, but there's also an obligation and a duty to be good for the audience who's paying for their tickets. So, June 18th, Flamenco Bacchanal, right here.
Okay,
Y Theater, 8 o'clock, June 18th. Adios!